Hi, hello, thank you for joining this video. Today I am at the doctor's and we're closer than ever. So this is my second attempt at the bone marrow transplant, and the first time we got really close, and then different things began happening with my body, plasmacytomas, needing radiation, needing surgery, multiple things of that nature. And so this is actually the closest that we've ever been. We start stem cell collection the day after Thanksgiving, and I am excited and nervous at the same time because I've seen a lot of what people have gone through, but everyone is different. And so I'm just trying to anticipate what I may go through and make sure I have all the necessary things needed to get through this rather quickly. I'm scheduled to be in the hospital for 30 days, and that runs into Christmas and New Year's. And I have two little boys, 11-year-old and 5-year-old Devontae and Gabriel, and I would definitely love to be with them for Christmas. But I know that the best Christmas present they would like is for mommy to get better. So here I am, about to meet with the doctor for my pre-coordination and do some lab work leading up to the transplant. And it's been a bit of a process. I literally drive almost 2 hours a day here and then back, actually 3 hours total to the doctors, but I do whatever is necessary to get through this journey. I'm enjoying it as best as I can. On my good days, I do activities with the kids, and I enjoy just them. I've learned a lot. I've reflected a lot on this journey, and I know you have too. And everybody's experiences are different. I'm getting teary-eyed. It normally takes me back to all that I've gone through over these last 16 months, and yet I still have a little ways to go. But at least I have an opportunity, I have a chance at living one day a productive and healthy lifestyle again, even better than before. So once the doctor comes in, I will let you listen to a little bit of how that process goes. And if you have any questions, or if there's any concerns or any advice that I can give you, please make sure that you comment in the section below, and reach out to me in my DM if necessary, and allow me to help you on your journey.
The 4 cycles of the DSEP, last week we repeated another CT scan of the abdomen, the pelvis, and the chest. Mm-hmm. And there has been an improvement on the findings. So, the liver lesions has shrunk, hasn't gone away. There are one of the lesions now that is measuring about 3 by 6 centimeters, that before was like 4 by 8. Okay. The other one is now 5 by 5. It was 5 by 7 before. Mm. The other one was like 2.2 by 2 now, and now before it was like 3 by 2. Okay. So that's in the liver. Everywhere else in the abdomen look about the same or okay, without anything else that looks like myeloma there. Okay. And then on the chest, there is also been some improvement. Some areas are improved, but there are many of the other areas that are still, in the ribs, there's still some residual tumors. Yeah. There is one here that they were measuring before 4 by 3 centimeters, is now 3 by 3. There was another one that was 4 by 1.6. Now, and before was 4 by 1.7, so about the same. Mm-hmm. And there is another one also in the base of the lungs, that is also about the same. It was 3.6 by 0.5 centimeters in this last CT, and before was 3.2 by 0.5. Okay. So there's still a lot of areas of residual disease. And this is usually what we see in aggressive myeloma. Mm-hmm. And also, when people has mostly myeloma outside the marrow, okay, because your marrow is clean right now.
Right.
So your marrow is good, and your myeloma markers also look good. But when people have extramedullary disease, like you have those lesions in the liver, you have the plasmacytomas in the chest. So that talks about an aggressive disease. Okay. What we have in terms of response, after 4 cycles of very strong chemo, is really not good enough to go to a transplant.
Okay.
Okay. Because this is what happens if we give you a transplant, or we give you the high dose melphalan, the chemotherapy. Some of those things are going to shrink a little bit, and then in a short period of time, this is going to be blasting off again.
Okay.
And then when we are in that situation without counts, and we are without an immune system to fight back a little bit the myeloma, this is just going to progress quickly. So now I think the main question here is like what to do next.
Right.
And then you have already received some of the most active therapy that we have available.
Yeah.
So you got the carfilzomib first with the Revlimid and the Dex, then they switched it to the they switched it to the BDT pace, the chemo that mess up with your mouth and those things. And then they put you on the KRD plus the daratumumab, and then you progress to that, and then so they put you then on the isatuximab. I think they did that with pomalidomide and Dex in July, and then this was discontinued, and then you got some radiation therapy to the lesions in the hips, and then you started the DSEP in July. Is that right?
Yes. No, I started
In
DSEP in
sorry,
September.
And you have now completed the four cycles. I think when we saw you here at some point, we recommended that if you were, you got a good response, ideally a CR, we will offer the tandem transplant, 2 transplants back to back. The other options were to look for clinical trials, outside the institution,
Yeah.
going somewhere else to try to find out whether or not there are a trial that, that it can help you.
Okay.
There are other medications that you haven't seen, which could be entertained in terms of like you could get here. Like even though you have seen the daratumumab before, that in combination with a medication called panovinostat increases the killing activity of the daratumumab.
Right.
Okay? So that's something that could be done. There is a medication called selinexor that could potentially be used. It's newly approved. It has been on the market for about 6 months or so. So it's not long ago. It has certain activity. Chances for going to a remission are not huge.
So the transplant, so I won't be able to do the transplant because of the liver and lung?
No, well, because even though there has been a good response, there is still significant amount of tumor left behind. So this is not the right time to do a transplant.
Okay. Because this kind of happened in January. I didn't get this far before my body started acting up, and then I was put on hospice in August. So this is kind of the best my body has ever been, and I don't want it to reverse and do what it did in August. I know I have a specialist doctor at Dana-Farber that meets with Dr. Perkins, and he recommended after the transplant, because he recommended the transplant as well, after the transplant he said there were different types of medications that he would recommend as well.
To stay for maintenance. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I kind of don't know what to do after this.
Did you talk to the Dana-Farber doctor before yourself?
Yeah, we had
Who was the doctor?
Dr. Anderson.
Dr. Anderson. Okay.
Or Dr. Richardson.
No,
I think
Paul
it was
Richardson.
Yeah,
Paul
Richardson.
Yes.
I met with him again on December 5th.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be a good thing to do.
But he was recommending the transplant.
Yes, but he recommended transplant in the right setting. Like having a good response. So he needs to also review your last CTs and then have an idea of what's going on.
Okay, so in the meantime, what do I do? Because
Well, you just finished your DSEC on the 10th, so even if you are due for the next DSEC, you won't be due. It's usually a 3-4 weeks thing. So I'll talk to Dr. Perkins and and Kevin and see what they can put together and give you something to hold things down until make sure the appointment with Dr. Richardson is on the 5th because that's a Saturday.
So this is my thing. I know I can't control what happens with my body, but last time when it reversed, there was no medicine that helped it at all because it was growing faster than the medicine. So if I put myself in that situation, I run the risk of possibly dying because I have no other options basically to move forward.
There are other options, but not in the way of the transplant. So I'm telling you, there are medications like selinexor, Blenreg, bendamustine that you haven't seen. So medications that the hematologist can still try. But doing a transplant with this amount of tumor left behind is not going to help you.
Okay. Okay.
It's not
I mean, I don't know what else to do, to be honest.
Yeah. No, I know. We are going to, I'm going to talk to Dr. Perkins and Kevin and then try to make a plan. And then double check on when is your appointment with Dr. Richardson.
The 5th.
So the 5th is a Saturday.
Let me look. I don't have it saved. It might be the 4th.
The Friday? Okay.
Yeah. I know it's the 4th or the 5th.
Yeah, most likely it's the 4th, so that's next week. And then we'll see, we'll send all the records to him, and then let's see what he has to say.
Okay.
He's a world-known expert of myeloma.
Okay.
So we'll see what other options we have, or whether or not they have a clinical trials that you can travel over there to Boston.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ms. Hussein.
So I don't need to come on Friday then, right?
No, you don't need to come on Friday.
All right. Thank you.
And I'll be talking to Kevin and Dr. Perkins today.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
We'll give you a call.
This morning on my way to the doctor, I just heard a word that basically said to overflow with hope. So I just left the doctor and scheduled to do my 2 transplants this Friday, and they've now been canceled. For me, that was giving me hope that things would change and be different. And so the word that I heard this morning, to overflow with hope, was basically saying that no matter what the doctors say, and no matter what professionals tell you, that God has the final say. And so this is basically now when I need to believe more than ever. I'm gonna keep walking in my gift and living life to the fullest. And I know God will make a way.